Hey, happy Friday. It's Jane from Chalk Mercantile and Surface Anthology. Hope everybody is doing well and looking forward to the weekend. I am getting my link, like I always do, for my text group people. If you want to join my text group, oops, I don't have the number up. Let's see, I think it's on my, let me grab my link here. Oh, I am the most unprepared person. I was prepared. I'm prepared for the project I want to show you guys. We're going to start a little Christmas sign because it's Christmas in July and I love decorating for sure. All right, this is going to everybody. All right, so let me just tell you, the number is 860-385-6369. Hey, Melanie, thanks for joining. Good morning. It's 11:45 here in Connecticut, so I still have 15 minutes. So what I wanted to show you is, let me close my computer, no distractions, a really super easy way to design and transfer letters for a sign. And my idea was with this is I got a piece of scrap board. This is another piece of scrap board from my flooring. So it's heavy maple. Good morning, Barb. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. So this is a super heavy piece of board. We have a lot of it left over from our floors, and I'm not wasting it. So I'm using it today for a sign, and I actually painted over something before. The wind's blowing. I'm getting hair in my mouth. My husband is mowing the lawn. So what are you gonna do, right? Hey, Sonia. Hey, Debbie. Thanks for joining me, you guys. And Sonia's saying, always enjoy your projects. Oh, I'm so glad. I was working on this one. Actually, I was sitting here going, what do I want to do? And then I started messing around with fonts on Canva. So let me tell you, Dave, but I've been looking and thinking about this for like a half an hour. So I have a board. I think this board is, let's see, it's 6x20. And I could have figured out how to put Merry Christmas across, but I don't know that I want to hand paint all that. It's a lot of letters. And if you love to do that, I'm not a calligrapher, then you could totally do any word you want, right? But I picked joy, and I think it's really pretty. It's a pretty word, and I love it. Hey, Karen, good morning. Thanks for joining us. So I went into Canva, and I was trying to find a font that I thought of as being, you know, holiday, a little old school. I don't like super whimsy. That's not my thing. But I wanted something that has kind of that old, I don't know, Victorian kind of feel, or an old, like, I don't know, turn of the century. I think of those really beautiful illustrated books. You know, I had something in my head. So, hey, Danielle, how are you? Good morning, and thanks for joining. So, I looked in Canva. I didn't see anything I liked, and that was what was taking up the time. So then I Googled holiday Christmas fonts, and I went to one of these, and I wanted free. I don't want to have to, you know, pay for a font that I'm only going to use once. Who knows, you know? So I actually found a site, and I don't remember what it was, but there's a bunch. There's Dafont, D-A-F-O-N-T, whole bunch. And I found this font, and it's called Harrington. My last name is Whittles, but my husband's last name is Harrington, and it's perfect. So I was like, oh my goodness, the Harrington font. I did look up Whittles, and there is a Whittle font, but it's really not holiday at all. It's kind of aggressive. I was shocked. So I chose the Harrington font. I put the size in Canva, and if you don't have Canva, there is a free you could do I have to add this to my resources because I love Canva. There's a free version and it just makes things so easy. So I put the size of my board in, 6 by 20, and then I just put the word in at the size that I wanted, and then I just downloaded it and printed the word. So that's what we got. Next thing I did, I painted it with this red base, and I found the center, okay? The reason this is hard to eyeball is because it's on a page, right? It's on a piece of printer paper, and it's not in the middle, right? This is how it printed up. So I found the middle for me is gonna be right over that O. I made a little mark, and here's the middle of the board. And I just use I love this Friction pen because it's erasable ink and it erases with heat. So I just hit it with my blow dryer, it goes away. But I just found, where is it? That center. I made a little tiny mark and I lined this up, right? I had my mark. I did eyeball this, by the way. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want it all the way down here. Look at where that would end up. So I started lifting this up and I found just where I liked. Right, here's the bottom, here's the top. So I like how that looks. So what I did, because I don't want this to be cockeyed, right? I could just lift this up and fold down the page, but I don't want it to be uneven. So I just measured down however far that was, made 3 marks, and folded it over, right? Easy, easy, easy. So there it is. So now what I'm gonna do is grab my favorite frog tape, and I really do love this stuff. And a pro tip, I love that, keep your tape in the case, because if you leave it out and it starts picking up lint and cat hair and dog hair, and you go to tape something out, the little edge that you wanna be nice and clean is gonna have stuff in it, and you're not gonna get that really crisp line you want. So I always keep it in here. All right, I'm just gonna take a couple of pieces. Make sure this is up all the way. And I'm just gonna tape it down. The good thing about Christmas in July, or holidays in July, because I see a lot of Thanksgiving, just fall projects, all the different holidays, doing it now is that before we know it, we're gonna be in the holidays. And I always look back and go, why didn't I start earlier, right? Here it is. This is my design. I've got my Friction pen. That's what I'm gonna use. And what I'm using to transfer it is something called Saral paper. I love this paper. I use it for my embroidery kits. I use it for everything. I just love it. But you know what? You could just take a piece of chalk, rub it on the back, white chalk, because we've got a dark surface here, and use that. Saral paper, I do this so much that I just always have it. So I've got a piece that I used on something else, so I'm just gonna lay it across, waxy side down. I've made that mistake. I couldn't find my white because I'm gonna paint this word in white, so I would have preferred to have a white outline, make my life easier, but I can't find mine. I need a professional organizer in my studio here. All right, so here it is. And all I'm gonna do is take my pen and outline, right? Just outline the word. Just like this. Now, it's a lot easier to do this with Danielle, absolutely carbon paper, perfect. That's pretty much what this is. It's just a company, it's made in the United States. It's been around for a really long time. It's in Bohemia, New York. And I've just been using it since art school, so it's my go-to. But carbon paper is perfect, absolutely. So the nice thing about having an irregular font, right, as opposed to like a really perfect, really straight square font, is that our hands are a little unsteady, and if it looks a little unusual because of the way your hand moves, it'll be fine. If you're going to do a lot of signs or something and you want a perfect font or a really beautiful script font, then you get a stencil for sure. All right, let's move over to the O. And then when I paint this, I just use little artist brushes and fill it in. I'll be using white chalk paint. And then I have to decide how I want to decorate this board. It's going to have a lot of open space, right? So I'm thinking of what I want to do. And I may do the rosettes, molds as little ornaments. I don't know. I may paint some snowflakes. It's hard to think about snow when it's going to be, you know, 90 degrees. Actually, it's really nice right now. I'm not croaking yet. Okay, I'm kind of moving through this as quickly as I can. Let's see. And before you take away the tape, make sure it worked. And it did. Make sure you got everything. Put my water on that so it doesn't blow away. Right? And this is what I mean. You keep that little hinge up there. And there is our word. Right? Beautiful. That is what I wanted to show you today. I have to think about, you know, how I want, do I have any, let's see if I have any, yeah. Look at how, I mean, of course, you know I love the plain clay, but look at how pretty the rosettes mold looks. Right, so there's our word, which will be painted in bright white. And then I'm thinking, well, if I put these on here in kind of an irregular way, and then either paint or get actual ribbons, right? Kind of going up like this, and maybe do a little bow on the top of each one. I thought that would be really pretty. So just imagine if this was white, how that would look. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. And, you know, just something that I could put at the entry into my house. I'm also thinking about, because everybody's doing door hangers, and I'm not a big door hanger person. You know, I never actually even thought about it. Danielle, won't that be pretty? Thank you so much. I think so too. Thanks, Barb. I think it would too. But imagine if I took a round piece of wood, right? And Danielle saying, so would I use the snowflakes mold? Absolutely, except I didn't keep one. I never kept the snowflakes mold. I sold them all. Those were limited edition. Those of you that are not familiar with Iron Orchid, the snowflakes mold, which was, what was that, last year, Danielle, right? It sold so fast, and I had one for myself, but I hadn't taken it out of the package yet. and I sold it because I had somebody like, I want that mold. So I never kept it. And now I could kick myself. I know, Tanya, I really did that. So, oh, Emma, thank you so much. She's Emma saying I'm clever. Well, you know, Emma, I think my only cleverness comes from retaining everything I learned in art school. I love to watch other people work. You know, I love to consume, right, all of that information. And you know, when I'm working on a project, I could draw on what I've learned. You know, that's my thing. But this is what I'm thinking. Oh, getting back to the door hanger. So door hangers are just really popular. And I thought, well, if I got a small, maybe, you know, I don't know, 15-inch diameter circle and did a word in the middle like this, right? And then put all the little rosettes molds around. And in that, I could add, let me show you guys something really fast. One of my favorite projects. And then add these little things like these. I took little miniature pine cones and I dipped them in Venetian plaster. It's very dimensional, right? But I don't, this is so heavy, or I would hang it on my door. I want something more, I don't know, designy, right? So that when you look at it from afar, that's a bad word of what I'm trying to describe, but something that you see has the big word joy in the middle, and then you see these, you know, baubles going around, and you know from kind of far away what it is, you know, for the holidays, right? So maybe I'll do that too. We'll see how this one goes. So that's it for today. I am going to be back on Monday, and I will have this painted, and I can tell you that this is going to take 3 coats of white paint. No doubt in my mind, because I'm painting on a really dark background, right? There's that joy. So it's gonna take 3 coats, and for these, I'm gonna leave them just like the bisque porcelain that I love. I'm gonna leave these alone. But wow, I am thinking about either ribbons or something, and it might sound good, and when I go to get some ribbons I might hate it, but we'll see. I do silk ribbon embroidery, so I have these really narrow silk ribbons, and I'll see how that looks. So that's it. Thank you, Emma. Thank you so much, and everybody, thank you for joining me. If you wanna join the text group, of course I forgot that. I think it's 860-385-6369, or you could just go right over to my Surface Anthology Facebook page, and it's in there, and I'll let you know when I go live. I'll let you know when things are back in stock, or if some big promo is happening. Also, I am just about ready to finish a blog post, and I will let you know when I have a new blog post up. If any of you are interested in joining the Surface Anthology membership, I've got a member in here right now. Please go to surfaceanthology.com and click on the membership and join. It's just $23 a month. You get 20% off everything in my Chalk Mercantile store, a workshop a month, a live workshop a month, Q&A, and a whole lot more. And we definitely dive deeper into painting techniques and creating heirloom finishes that are going to last, that are going to get more beautiful as they age. That is like my thing for sure. So if you're interested in that, go to surfaceanthology.com and just click on the membership, and it will tell you all about that. All right, you guys, have a most wonderful and happy Friday. I hope you do get to carve out some creative time. Even if you're, you decide, I want to make something for the holidays, and you just sketch it out, like keep a little notebook. So that way, when you actually have time to do that, you can go back to your notebook and say, yep, I'm going to do it now. Oh, Barb is joining. That is so wonderful. That is music to my ears. I can't wait to have you. And it's the only thing I tell people, and I don't know if Danielle has experienced this, when you first get into the learning area where I have all the workshops, there's over 20 workshops. Try not to go in and get overwhelmed, by trying to watch them all and, I need to do that. No. Just go in, maybe pick one along with the one that we're doing that month and check it out, right? Because I am also one of those people. I do something and I go in and I try to look at everything all at once and I get myself overwhelmed and I have to back out. So don't do that. Don't do that for sure, because there's a lot of great information in there. You're going to have access when you join to over 20 workshops for the life of the membership. So you don't ever have to worry about them going away. Emma, you have a great weekend too. Everyone have a really wonderful weekend. And I'll see you back here on Monday. And we'll see. Maybe, hopefully, I'll have a decision made. All right, everybody. It was so good to spend time with you. And I'll see you